Hello again. This is one more episode of VMware Community on Air. This is my last interview on this VMworld 2019. And with me today, I have my special guests, Tarsio Moraes, Ariel Sanchez, and Jorge Torres.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank
Very
you.
happy to be here.
So for those who don't know you guys yet, I know you are guys are big guys inside the community, but for those who are new in the VMware environment, I would like you guys to talk a little bit about yourself and what you guys have been up at this VMworld.
Want to start, Ariel? Okay, thank you again for inviting me. So my name is Jorge Torres. You can find me on Twitter. My handle is J_KOLKES. I try to be very active in the community. I work for VMware. I'm here working the hands-on labs all week. Well, today's the last day, but I was very fortunate to travel to Barcelona. I'm very happy to see old friends and meet new friends.
My name is Ariel Sanchez. I also work for VMware as a TAM as Jorge. And basically we're here. This is my first time in VMware Barcelona. Had a great time. It's beautiful. We were here helping the Be Brown backstage, and we got a lot of community sessions done, so make sure you check them out. You can find me on Twitter at Ariel Sanchez More, or you can read my blog at blogs.arielsanchezmora.com.
Okay. Hi, my name is Tarsio Moraes. This is my first time here in Barcelona. There have been some in US, but one thing that I'm liking a lot Barcelona is, since this is small, you have time and it's more cozy to talk about it with the people. VMworld in America is amazing, but there's too much people and we cannot handle all the people together. But here is more cozy, you can have more time interacting together. You can find me at Twitter. My handle is @Tarsio, very, very simple. And I work for AWS now, focus on in VMware and VMC.
So Tarsio, have you get everything of VMware that you expected this year?
Yes, one thing that I love is the new announcements. I don't know how to change, because the announcements that is great for me is seeing how VMware is changing themselves. If you see VMware 5 years ago, it's only vSphere. Now it's NSX, it's vSAN, it's Tazoo, it's Kubernetes, they're transforming themselves. So it's a company that's reinventing themselves the same way that I'm 40 years old, 42 years old, so marketing for 20 years. And now, the same way I'm transforming myself, learning new technology, I see that this bigger company, VMworld, is also transforming by themselves. So every year, every quarter, they're releasing new things. Now with NSX, example, deep inspections, so much great things they're showing here. That is why I love having that show.
Yes, it has been amazing to watch VMware along this journey from virtualization to storage and multi-clouds. How about you, Ariel?
So I definitely got what I wanted because I wanted to meet different people and learn more cultures. So first of all, Barcelona is beautiful. It's a really nice city to walk around, and you're going to talk about this a little bit more because you even went to the stadium. But at a personal level, my wife has been having a blast. She's been having the time of her life. But for me personally, I wanted to meet people that I would normally not meet in the US. And I got to meet a lot of people that I only had interacted on Twitter before, from the UK, from all of Europe. But I also got to meet some other TAMs internally for VMware that are in Saudi Arabia or Turkey. I had a long conversation with a TAM called Assist, and we already want to work together on an initiative that would not have happened if I hadn't come. So that for me was my number one thing, learning more about the culture and getting to see different people.
Yeah, I can reinforce a little bit of what Ariel said, and it's about, and Tarsio as well. So first time for me here. It is smaller than the US, but still very big. I mean, there's still a lot of people, so a lot of opportunities to meet new guys. And like Ariel said, I would suggest people maybe in the East Coast that if they have a choice of traveling to VMworld US or here, do it here once, try it, because it's a different, obviously, a different country, different culture. It's a beautiful city. People are really nice. And yeah, you get a chance to meet people from other parts of the world. So it's been very nice. In my case, I was working the hands-on labs. We were very busy, very successful as well. We set out new records. So it's been great, and I wish I can come back, next year and the following year. So it's been excellent for me. Community as well, very strong. I met a lot of guys that like Ariel mentioned, you just follow on Twitter and stuff, but getting a chance to talk to them, have dinner with them, has been a blast as well.
Yes, the community in Europe is really, really cozy community. Actually, the community inside VMware, everybody is very cohesive. And
Very welcoming.
I had this feeling when I started at VMware. So
Oh,
you
yes.
could tell that you have made your mark on this VMware.
I would say so, yeah.
Have you made your mark, Ariel?
I have. I mean, it's definitely one of those things when it's your first time in Barcelona, there's people that come up to you and say, we've been talking on Twitter, and that I recognize as well. You've been talking on Twitter for years and years. So I would say that my market, and you always said like, yes, I made my mark, but my mark has been just getting more people to understand that the community is global, that even if we don't see each other every year or if we see each other only once a year, everybody has something to say. Everybody has a valuable voice globally. And I think that was part of what I tried to convey to the people that I talked to here.
And that's the part of the year when you have opportunity to interact with people from all the programs inside VMware, vExperts, the VMUG leaders, and it's the
Klaus.
time. That's the time that we wait for the whole year, right? So Tarsio, have you made your mark?
I have my mark because the one thing that was very challenging for me is, for 3 years ago, I was a community guy, and I still work in progress. So it's one thing that, example, my Twitter at Tarsio is, I got in the first week when Twitter was launched, and I stayed almost 10 years without using. So now, from 3 years ago, I started my community. I have some bumps sometimes. I do some contact, then I stay away. Now I feel more comfortable to go there, interact with the people. And like Ariel said, I think it's the one thing that is good with VMworld US, but in Barcelona here, is allowing you to travel overseas, know a new country, a new culture, because the community is the mix between styles, gender, the way that you think. So everybody can talk without be judgment. So you can, example, if you work with American, they're having his own style. If you work with a German, has another style. Example, if you go here in Barcelona, have a 2-hour siesta, it's a different thing. So in the community, we'll be able to talk all those things without being pressured by. So and then you can share your feelings. Then you can share the things. You can go there and eat a tapas and be here. Know these people. It is amazing. So I make my mark because this is getting me stronger and more wish to become every day more community guy. For example, came here and see a guy that lives in New Zealand, or even here he's living now in US, but he's from Costa Rica. So he was a Brazilian like me, but he was living in California. So this is the magic of the community, and that is my mark. Example, hands-on labs is amazing. I can do here, but I can do at home. But like George and you said, he have a chance to talk to people here in person. Eye contact, nothing you're gonna change that. So my mark is definitely get a better community strength here. That's my mark.
Yes, we have a very diverse and inclusive community inside VMware. I think makes VMware community special too. So Tarsio, how can people interact to you? Do you have a Twitter handle?
I have a Twitter handle that's at Tarsio. Very simple. I have my own website, tarsiomorais.com.br. I'm struggling to try find contact in Spanish because I do in Portuguese. I drew in English. I'm releasing next week a full series of HCX. So I built a lot of videos. It's already ready, edited. I'm gonna publish all the full series, but it's in Portuguese. Now I need probably help to do some in Spanish or English, because the idea is, I think that is one thing that this community is. Language barrier is still a problem in the community. Example, there are a lot of people in Brazil that don't speak and read English. If we don't publish content in the language, I think it's one thing that we can probably get help from the community is say, oh guys, I did a post English. Can you translate this in Spanish? And so on. So this is something that community can help us. So find me my Twitter if you can help me translate some context for English.
What's your Twitter handle?
It's at Tarsio.
At Tarsio.
Very simple. Get in touch and we're gonna share and do community work.
Just making a comment on this, that's where Vibram Bag is doing a great job. They're localizing content.
Exactly.
They have Vibram Bag Brazil, no?
Yes, VMware Brazil. They have one for Latin in Spanish. They have the American.
Did we do any Hispanic or Latino talks this year?
Some Spanish.
Okay,
Maybe
I
Vibram
did
Bag.
not see it. Okay,
And we're going
that's
to
great.
switch this interview to Brazilian and Spanish in a little second.
Okay, no, that's excellent.
In second row,
I need to sign up next time though. It gets really busy at Hands on Labs, but I need to do it next time.
So I would say that now is a proper segue into switching the language of this interview into Spanish and Portuguese.
Oh.
I really want to do that, number one, because you guys speak fluent Portuguese, and I speak very, very beginner Portuguese, and he and I speak very fluent Spanish. But one thing that I notice is you introduce yourself, I introduce myself, he introduced himself, you have not introduced yourself, and you should do it in Portuguese.
I am interviewing here.
No, you have to say... And I want you to do it in Portuguese.
Tá bom. Para quem não me conhece ainda, eu sou Julia Klaus. Eu trabalho na VMware como gerente de comunicações para mídias sociais e comunidades. Eu tenho trabalhado em alguns projetos com alguns podcasts right now. Eu também estou...
Você já está acostumada a falar inglês. Ela está acostumada a falar inglês, pessoal. Então o português trava um pouquinho. Então ela vai. Vamos lá.
Estou gerenciando uma campanha de marketing para VMware Tanzu, onde a gente está gravando vídeos para amplificar a audiência para esse novo produto da VMware chamado Tanzu. E também para trazer mais audiência para as sessões dos keynotes, dos speakers for Tanzu na VMworld. A gente também está produzindo alguns podcasts com o nosso CFO, Think Like a CFO. Esse é um dos podcasts que a gente está produzindo. Também tem o VMware Community Podcast, que acontece toda semana, toda quarta. Também tem o VMware Clouds on the AWS Podcast, que a gente está fazendo com o Bill Roth. São muitos projetos, eu poderia estar aqui falando por 1 hora, mas eu não quero me estender muito. Então, esses 2 anos de VMware, para mim, foram anos de crescimento, de aprendizado, e eu espero crescer muito mais e aprender junto com esses caras da comunidade que sempre estão aí para apoiar a gente. E se alguém precisar de alguma informação, de uma força em qualquer coisa que envolva comunicação, por favor, não fique tímido e entre em contato comigo no meu Twitter, @JuliaBKlaus.
Now I want to hear Tarsio's introduction in Portuguese.
Ok. Olá, pessoal. Boa tarde ou bom dia, onde você estiver no mundo. Meu nome é Tarsio Moraes. Eu sou um brasileiro que fala um pouquinho de inglês, um pouquinho de espanhol. Hoje eu estou trabalhando na AWS, na Amazon Web Services. Estou focado com a parte do VMC, né, a VMware Cloud AWS para a Latinoamérica. No meu tempo livre eu tento criar conteúdos de VMware em português, inicialmente, para ajudar justamente a comunidade que não tem esse conteúdo. A ideia também é que esse conteúdo se torne internacional, em inglês e espanhol, por isso está aqui aberto o meu convite para me ajudarem. E, gente, para contar comigo, eu tenho meu site Tarsio Moraes, meu Twitter, @Tarsio, e vamos fazer essa comunidade crescer, pessoal. É isso aí.
Ok, ahora pasamos a español. Muy rápidamente, de nuevo, mi nombre es Jorge Torres, yo trabajo como Technical Account Manager para VMware. Estoy en el East Coast de Estados Unidos. Llevo con VMware 2 años. En VMworld trabajé en Hands on Labs, en el lab de VMC on AWS. Hicimos también workshops. Estuve bastante ocupado, pero tuve tiempo también para compartir en comunidad. Y como vemos acá, la comunidad es esto, una diversidad, hablamos todas las lenguas, tenemos de todas las culturas y estamos muy integrados. Así que quien esté viendo esto quizás por primera vez y tenga dudas de integrarse, no lo dude. Yo estuve ahí hace 3 años y medio y me encontraba tan buena gente como aquí Ariel, que nos impulsa, y en realidad esto es diferente, es bien agradable y todos nos ayudamos mutuamente o como se pueda.
Ariel, let's do.
Sí. Bueno, Ariel Sánchez, costarricense que vivo en Orlando, Florida. Si van a ver a Mickey, me avisan, salimos a comer. Como estaba diciendo Jorge, esta es una comunidad, y como dijo Tarsio también, esta es una comunidad muy welcoming, es la palabra en inglés, muy, que te da la bienvenida. Y si por alguna razón tú no estás en Twitter, esta es la recomendación número 1. Tú nos has oído a todos decir cómo nos puedes contactar por Twitter. Twitter es donde está la comunidad más fuerte, que todo el mundo tiene Twitter. Entonces mi Twitter es Ariel Sánchez MOR. No me dejaron poner el Mora al final. Y no, simplemente quería decir que esto es obviamente un placer para nosotros. Estamos no solo en términos de trabajo con VMware, ¿verdad? Que también hay mucha gente en Costa Rica, en Brasil, en toda Latinoamérica y España que trabaja para VMware. Pero también hay comunidades de virtualización, como puede ser el VMware Latam, VMware Brasil, con nuestro gran amigo Valdecir, que también están abiertas a ayudar a la gente de cualquier forma. Entonces, por ahorita se lo devuelvo a la gerente de comunicaciones de VMTN, Julia.
Bueno, no, yo me iba a hablar español, mira. No, voy a finalizar en inglés.
Okay.
Well, I want to thank you guys for your time. Excuse me, sorry, just a minute. It's not going, your audio will be bad. Fine. I want to thank you guys for your time. I know it has been a very busy week for you guys, and I want to wish you guys a safe trip home. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next VMUG meetings or in the next VMworld.
Thank you. Gracias.
My pleasure. Thank you for the invite, Julia.
You're welcome.